my parents chose to leave the country of my birth, which is a small country called Moldova in Eastern Europe. It's well known as one of the least happy countries in the world. So I'm really glad that they left. Now, I was a little kid. I was 10 when they left. And when we left, it was a really hard time when we immigrated to the States. I grew up dirt poor in New York City, roach-infested apartments. We gathered, my parents, my mom washed people's houses for a living. My dad drove a bread truck, so at least we weren't hungry. But we had to kind of figure out furniture. We foraged it from dumpsters, dumpster diving for foragers. So that was kind of my background. And I was proud of my cultural heritage, regardless of that. I was proud that I came from Eastern Europe, from Moldova. So unlike many immigrants, I decided not to drop my accent. Now, many people chose to do that. I chose not to do that. Unfortunately, as I later learned, that wasn't a very wise decision on my part. Because when I got into the research on this topic, and that's kind of my background in research, social intelligence, we'll talk about what there is, there's a phenomenon called accent discrimination, where people perceive those with foreign accents to be less trustworthy than people who are not. Now, there's only one accent that's not the case for. Can anyone guess what that is? British, yes. That is the only one because of, our cultural superiors. We still have a cultural superiority of the empire. Now, this is another element of the horns effect and the halo effect. Faculty, it's not like faculty don't want to do diversity inclusion hiring. What's happening is that they want to retain their independence in hiring, and many feel that going to HR undercuts their independence, regardless of the fact that going to HR would help them do both, retain their independence while also improving diversity and inclusion. Now, there have been a number of success stories. So one of the people in this room, Robin, so if she would stand up, give her a hand, come on, let's help her stand up. She tells me that she was really successful in collaborating with a number of people in HR to get faculty to come to HR and ask for help and get them involved in the process because of a culture that they created in the university of trust and collaboration between HR and faculty. And I strongly encourage you to go to Robin and talk to her about what steps she and others have taken to get that culture going.
We've had the great pleasure of working with Gleb. He's been wonderful to work with, easy to communicate with, helped us to work within our budgetary limitations, and helped us to be able to prepare effectively for our presentations.
He worked with us collaboratively during the whole process before the day of the event to get feedback on what's important in HR and how there have been successes and where there are pitfalls. And he brought that to the audience and made the event great. The presentation that he gives has a great impact on the audience because he's bringing real experiences to their mind and giving them takeaways that they can go back and implement back in their everyday lives back in HR.
Gleb was very relatable. He communicated in a very clear and easy to understand way, very clear key takeaways that people could utilize in their personal life and as well as the campuses that they're supporting.
Ohio State University psychologist Gleb Tsipursky's not buying it.
And this is clearly a big PR stunt. It's not really an effective strategy to address discrimination.
Local for you, Ted Hart, NBC.